Hello everyone, my name is Samira Gonzalez and this is my week 4 discussion board for MPA 530, Public Finance and Budgeting. This week I'll be discussing the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, or the Kafir, for the City of Glendora. The agenda for this presentation is to see how fiscally sovereign the City of Glendora is, identify indicators that were used to assess the sovereignty for the city, and to describe how information obtained from the city budget differs from the city's Kafir. One way to determine the physical health of a city is by examining the statement of net position. At the far left-hand corner of this PowerPoint slide, I've identified 4 key numbers. One is the total asset, the second is deferred outcome, the third is the total liabilities, and the fourth is the deferred income. The final number of adding and subtracting these particular line items gives you the net position. The City of Glendora shows a positive net position of $172.87 million, which shows that the city owns more than what it owes. But the key number on this statement is the unrestricted number, or the magic number, as we've learned in week 4 when viewing the What is Kafir video. It shows that the City of Glendora's unrestricted amount of $15.96 million is the amount of funds that they do not have any obligations or restrictions on, which signifies that the city is physically healthy. A few fiscal sovereign indicators that I used to assist with understanding the City of Glendora's fiscal health is I used the Wax, Dennis, and Two's sovereignty test for 2017, as these indicators are used by the General Accounting Standard Board underneath the GASB 34. So the first one I used was to help me understand the cash, which is the current ratio. This is taking current assets and dividing them by the current liabilities. As you can see on the far left-hand corner, the current asset is $21.1 million divided by the current liabilities, which is $23.8 million, which comes to 5.16, which shows that because it's a positive, that the company meets their short-term obligations. Another indicator is the operating ratio, which looks at the budget for the fiscal year. And in the top left-hand corner of this presentation, the 2 key areas to examine is the total revenue, which is the total programs plus general revenue, divided by the total expenses. In this case is $37.766 million plus $37.642 million divided by $64.447 million, which gives you an overall ratio of 1.19. This means that the city is able to meet its eligible obligations for the budgeted fiscal year. Another indicator is the long-term liability, which looks at the long-term vulnerabilities of the city. In this case, the formula is long-term, which is the non-current liabilities divided by the total assets. In the far left-hand corner, I've identified the first are the long-term non-current liabilities of $94.4 million divided by the total assets of $286.3 million, given an overall indicator of 0.33. This means that anything less than 0.5, the city is in good standings. This also means that the city is able to meet their long-term financial obligations. The budget versus the Kafir. A budget shows the plan for future fiscal period, whereas a Kafir contains the actual results of the prior year's fiscal activity. As the city of Glendora ramps up how funding will be used and staffing numbers that will be needed, the Kafir displays how those plans were actually enforced and where the city ended up at the end of the fiscal year. In conclusion, the city of Glendora has a moderate rating in accordance to the auditors of California. The city shows that they have some risk and some moderate to high risk items. However, overall, their standing is rated at between 56 and 58, which shows that they can meet their long-term, short-term, and budgeted fiscal year obligations. Here are my references. Thanks for watching.